If you love Zuppa Toscana Soup, then you came to the right place. This is the bomb. You don't need to go to Olive Garden and spend all your money. No, when you can make it right at home and have leftovers for the next day and the next day, and your family can be eating good. Stay tuned for the video to see how I made it. Okay, so the ingredients that you're going to need for your Zuppa Toscana Soup is some smoked sausage. I'm using smoked sausage in the place of Italian sausage because I don't really like Italian sausage, but I like smoked sausage. So I'm using the Hill Farm smoked sausage, bacon, potatoes. I'm just using 3 today, but you can use however many you want if you want extra potatoes, kale. You got your onion, and of course you have to have your chicken broth and the heavy whipping cream. So right now I'm just going to cook the bacon, and then I'm going to chop up the bacon, and while the bacon is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and clean the kale and cut off the stems and slice the potatoes and dice the onions. So let's go ahead and get started doing that. So the bacon is just about ready. We're going to take it out of the pan, and then I'm going to drain some of this bacon grease. I'm going to take some of the bacon grease out, but I'm going to leave a little in the pan, and I'm going to saute the onions in it. And I let the bacon get crispy because I want it to withstand the actual soup too, and not just get all, straight mushy. So as you can see, I just left a little bit of the bacon grease. Not a lot because the sausage is going to be oily as well. And all of those little bits is good flavor. So I'm going to use that as well. We're just going to toss in the onions into the pot. Since I minced the onions so small, we're only going to saute them for a few minutes. You can cut your onions as big as you like. But I like to cut mine really thin, basically almost minced, because I don't really care to eat onion. I don't want to chop on the onion when I'm actually eating. I just want the onion flavor. So, yeah, and we don't have to cook it that much. Just enough for it to start sweating the onion. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the sausage in here as well, because we got to cook the sausage down. So, we'll do that now. No sausage left behind. Let's put them all up in there. Just toss it in there. And then we are going to saute that with the onion. And you just cook it until the sausage get a little brown. Then we're going to throw in the chicken broth, chicken stock or whatever. And while that's going, we're going to basically chop up this bacon really fine. Okay, so you see that the sausage has a little color to it. It probably would have cooked more evenly if I had it in a bigger pan. But my philosophy is I like to have easy cleanup, so I'm doing everything in this one pot. It's a one-pot soup. I'm not messing up any additional dishes that I don't have to. But yeah, this is how I want it. So now I'm just going to add the chicken broth, and I add the entire carton of the chicken broth, and this is what, 32 ounces. Just add that baby up in there, and after you add the all of the chicken broth, we're also going to add the potatoes, and we let the potatoes and the sausage and the chicken broth cook just for a little bit. And then after that, after we add the potatoes and stuff, then we'll add the kale and the bacon. So all of the potatoes have been added. We're going to move them down in there. This time I have a little more than usual. This pot is a little bigger. So I might have to put a little bit more chicken broth because I want it to overflow. I want it to actually be a soup. So if you don't have any chicken broth available like me, I only bought one. Don't worry about it. You can make your own chicken stock. I just use the Better Than Bouillon base and some water. If you have the cubes, you can use that, whatever, and you can make your own chicken stock. You don't have to actually buy two. I'm just using, I think those potatoes were a little bigger than the size that I normally get, so I'm using extra stock this time. Okay, so I added the extra chicken stock as well as the bacon bits. And we're just going to stir that up and then cover it and bring it to a boil. And then once it starts boiling, you're going to go ahead and add the kale. Because you still want to have some of the nutrients of the kale, so we don't want to cook it to death. But of course, we do want to wilt it down because I don't want it crunchy or anything. And then once the kale cooking it a little bit, then you'll start adding the cream. The cream is the very last thing. Okay, so it's only been a few minutes later, and you can tell it's right at the point where it's about to start boiling. That's when I'm about to go ahead and add this kale in, because we don't want to cook the potatoes too long. We don't want them to be soggy. We still want them to have some kind of bite. So you can put as much or as little kale as you like. I love kale, so I put a lot of kale up in that joint. And it cooks down a lot. Like, once you mix it in here, it's going to wilt down, and it's not really going to be that much. But I like to literally have kale, potato, and sausage in every single bite. So that's why I add a lot to mine. But you know, you can add as little as less that you like. The soup is boiling. The potatoes is just about right. We're going to turn this down all the way to like low. And now we're going to go ahead and add the cream. And you just add the whole thing of the cream. The cream is like the best part. It's like, ooh, yeah. And then you're just going to, you know, stir that cream in. I'm going to turn it back up just a little bit, probably to 4. So it can cook in here a little bit, the cream. And then once the cream has cooked in all the way, it's just about ready. I add in my little secret weapon, and then it be done. And of course, after it cooks some, you can taste the broth and see if you need to add any seasonings. For the most part, I've been tasting it, and I didn't need to add anything because the bacon is salty and the sausage is salty, and you just don't want no overly salty dish. It's like enough salt for the whole dish. But you be the judge. Let your taste buds decide what you want to do, because after all, it's what you cooking for you. So do what's best for you. But yeah, we're going to let this cook just a little bit longer. And then I'm going to throw in my secret weapon, and it's done. I don't just like the soup by itself. It's almost done, so we might as well make some garlic loaf bread to go with it, because it is so delicious when you make your own. This just came from my local grocery store for 99 cents. And it's, I think, yeah, French bread. Oh, sorry, French bread. So I'm just going to cut this in half. I'm going to melt some butter with some of my minced garlic. And I'm going to throw a little bit of parsley in there as well. And we don't want it fully liquidy, but you know, when it's like almost there, it's kind of thick. And then we're just going to dip the bread in that and bake it. And it's going to be bomb, I'm telling you. Better than any garlic bread you can buy. Okay, so I cut my bread in half, and then I sliced it in half. I got my garlic butter ready with the parsley. I did it a little, I warmed it up a little longer than I would have liked, but it's okay. So basically, you just dip that thing in there and literally just let it soak up the stuff. If it wasn't as liquidy, you can get it more in there. And what I like to do too is like prick little holes in the bread so it can sob up everything. And then you're just gonna put it on a aluminum foil. Put it on aluminum foil that's been sprayed with some Pam, because you don't want that joint to, you know, stick or whatever. Okay, so now it's time to just pop this joint in the oven, and it's going to be delicious. If you really want to indulge, then you can add some cheese and stuff on top. But I don't want any cheese on mine. I just want all that garlic and butter and parsley. Telling you, it's the bomb. But if you want to add some cheese, just sprinkle a little cheese on top. And the oven is ready. I'm about to toss that thing in there, and let's go. Okay, so the soup is basically done. I've turned the stove off, and what I'm going to do is add my secret weapon, which is some cheese. Just a little bit. Don't go ham with it. I just like to add a little bit of cheese to sprinkle it in to top it off, and that just makes the sauce even more bomb. It's already bomb, but adding that little cheese in there, it's like, woo, girl, take it up to another notch. And now it's done. You got you some delicious Zuppa Toscana soup. So we're just going to wait for the garlic bread to get done. And then we're going to plate this bad boy up. I'm telling you, it's delicious. You got to try it. Okay, so the garlic bread is done. It looks delicious. Now all we got to do is plate up the food and eat. The best part, eating.